Hey there viewers, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Matt, and today we're continuing our playthrough of Police Quest 2. Where we left off was we found the Corvette that Jesse Baines had stolen and then dumped at the Oak Tree Mall. We'd gathered some evidence, and now we're basically ready to go back to the station, book in the evidence, and see what we can find next. So the first thing we've got to do is get back to our car, which is just here, and use the radio basically just to inform dispatch of our current status. So open up the door. As usual, Keith yells, "I'm coming, Sonny." He's always off screen somewhere doing something completely unrelated. As you get into the car, you fill Keith in on what you've discovered. So just a quick refresh if you haven't just watched part 1, we discovered that there was a holster for a gun inside the Corvette and some stray bullets, so all points indicate that Jesse Baines is now armed. So it's important for us now to use the radio. So Keith keys the mic. Dispatch 53 Mary 2. Be advised the suspect Baines may be in possession of the correctional officer's gun. 10-4, 53 Mary 2. Dispatch crackles back. Attention all units. Update on jailbreak per 53 Mary 2. Jesse Baines may now be armed with the correctional officer's gun. Approach with caution. Keith advised dispatch of the stolen car information and request notification to all units. 53 Mary 2, 10-4, dispatch says. Attention all units, dispatch transmits. Be on the lookout for one black 1986 four-door mid-size station wagon stolen from the Oak Tree Mall. A partial plate of C035 was given. So that's pretty much everything that we've learned from here. We did get some fingerprints and whatnot we can use obviously as evidence for the court case. But if we use radio again, I think it just says there's nothing to report. Yeah, it just informs the 1020. Okay, so now we can drive back to the station, which is much easier in Police Quest 2 than it is Police Quest 1. Alright. I won't read through all of these dispatch calls, they get pretty lengthy after a while. They're basically all the same, it just says where they're heading, and then dispatch copies, you know, you're en route to the office, or you're en route to the jail, or Cotton Cove, or wherever you're going. If I'm not mistaken, here we go. As you drive along, mulling over your thoughts, a call from dispatch breaks the silence. 53 Mary 2, dispatch. Keith keys the mic. Dispatch 53 Mary 2, go ahead. Respond to Cotton Cove. See the jogger standing by at the phone booth. Dispatch continues. Jogger has info of possible foul play. Be advised I have one traffic unit responding. Keith keys the mic. Dispatch 53 Mary 2 copied. Okay, so now we need to drive to Cotton Cove. So what do you think we're going to find at Cotton Cove? Oh, you can probably guess. So at this point in the game, you'll be in big trouble if you forgot to get your gun sights calibrated and then arrive at Cotton Cove. But anyway, here we go. Keith says to you, "Okay, Sonny, I'll give you 2-to-1 odds for 50 cents the jogger's a dude, yes or no." You're on is the correct way to go. As the car pulls up, Keith winces. "Oh no, I can see from here it's a gal. You got me again, partner. Here's your buck." "Hiya, Sonny," Officer Giuseppe says. Giuseppe? Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. "The lady over there is pretty shook up over what she's found. You'd better have a talk with her." Officer Giuseppe continues. "I'll stick around for a while, just in case you need me." Okay. Meanwhile, Keith just wanders off, and I think he just starts talking to the officer here. Yeah, classic. Okay. So apparently this jogger has some evidence of foul play. Oh, officer, it was terrible. There was, blood and drag marks to the river. So we can kind of elaborate on this a bit. So if you don't elaborate, you don't get a point, but basically, you can probably just walk off and you'll still work out what you need to do. But in an excited voice, the woman says, I was jogging along the river's edge and I came across something that looked like blood. Continuing, she says, I stopped to look, and right next to the blood, I saw marks that looked like something had been dragged into the river, and footprints. I saw footprints. You attempt to interrupt, but she keeps rolling it out as she says, I got scared when I heard the brush crack, so I ran down here and called the police. The jogger says, Officer, please go look. I hope nothing bad has happened. The girl tells you the location. Just walk upriver about 100 yards or so. It's right next to the water. Okay, so she heard some crackles from the bushes. That's very ominous. So we probably should save it here because the offender might still be at large. Now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you haven't resighted your gun and got your shooting scores up, this part here is going to go very badly. So let's see. Let's use that one there. Let's go at Cotton Cove. So at this point, you need to follow the correct police procedure, which is, let me just get the F keys correct. So load the gun, which is F6. So it's not empty, it's got ammo, so that's good. Then F8 to draw it. And then I think it was at F10. Yep, F10 to fire it. So we'll get ready here. And I think if you, it's kind of funny how you can walk around with your gun drawn, but I don't know if you talk to Keith. I'm with you, Sonny. Okay. He's clearly not, because he's not even facing this way, but that's fine. Ah, here we go. I'm right behind you, partner. So at this point, you want to get your finger on the F10 key. Okay, so as soon as you see Baines, you have to shoot, otherwise he'll just shoot you. Although shaking from surprise, confusion, and fear, you somehow manage to return fire. Although the flight of your bullet misses its target, it comes close enough to cause the suspect to take leg bail. Now there is something funny you can do here, which I might just do, and then we'll just come back. But if you walk down towards the bitumen here, you just kind of walk down like pretty low. Pretty sure. Let's see. Thought the car came and ran you over. Well, there you go. So you can see there's a car there. So if you just sort of, whoops. Gee, Sonny, did you see that, Gus, Keith? Sonny? Sonny? Sonny! Thank you for playing Police Quest 2. Okay, so obviously that is not the correct way to do it. So Jim shakes his head and says, don't worry though, Keith will explain in his report how he was heroically watched your back. So lucky we saved. Okay, so to do this properly, we can walk to the next screen. If you're on a really fast computer, what you'll find happens is the car will actually come across onto this first screen here. But it's kind of more fun to go to the second screen if you're on a slower computer. Alright, so we return fire. So he's now run off. And on a fast computer, you'll get to about here, and then the car will just appear out of nowhere and then sort of drive across the screen. But because this is a bit slower, we can actually get to this side. We just get out the way, and then we look car. Watch out a car can... So look plates. Okay, so if you do a look plates, all you can make out is CO3. So we've got to get right out the way here. Do a look plates again. Okay, so now that that car's gone, let's try and get back to our patrol car. Classic Keith just being in the way. And we can actually chase after the car. My gosh, Sonny, I heard gunshots, stammers Officer Giuseppe. Oh, the jogger's doing a runner. The jogger, frightened by the gunfire, runs away. Okay, so if we just quickly get to the car, quickly being relative here. Oops. Open the door. Keith says, I don't think we can catch him, Sonny. He's probably long gone. Keith may be right at this point in time, but we still need to try. Keith tells Officer Giuseppe, Mario, stand by and secure this area until we return. First thing, use the radio. So, with excitement in his voice, Keith speaks into the mic. Dispatch 53 Mary 2 with emergency traffic. Dispatch booms back. All units hold your traffic. I have emergency traffic from 53 Mary 2. Dispatch continues. 53 Mary 2. Go ahead with your emergency traffic. Screaming into the mic, Keith says, Dispatch 53 Mary 2. We've just been ambushed at Cotton Cove by suspect Baines. Suspect last seen northbound on Clearwater Drive at a high rate of speed. Be advised we do not have him in sight. So we just type, Dispatch acknowledges your traffic. 53 Mary 2, 10-4. Do you have a description of the suspect vehicle? And advise injury status from ambush. Almost out of breath, Keith answers, Dispatch 53 Mary 2, negative injury to personnel. Suspect vehicle matches description of vehicle stolen from Oak Tree Mall. 10-4, attention all units. Per 53 Mary 2, be on the lookout for a stolen 1986 compact black station wagon. Suspect vehicle last seen northbound on Clearwater Drive at a high rate of speed. Brake. Suspect vehicle has partial plate CO35. Be advised the driver Jesse Baines just ambushed Mary 2 at Cotton Cove. The Mary unit has lost sight of vehicle. Caution, suspect is armed and dangerous. All units acknowledge. All other units acknowledge the emergency traffic. Keith says, we might as well stay here, Sonny. It looks like that is long gone. I think if you type chase car now. No, you can't do it. You can also just type drive and then type use radio afterwards, but I think the correct way to do it is to use the radio first. So let's get out. Officer Giuseppe says, don't worry, Sonny, they'll catch that cockroach. Alright, so Keith will kind of go back and just start talking. So the only reason we're really staying here is, remember the jogger mentioned she saw blood. So what we can do here, whoops, close the trunk. It's very different typing on this old keyboard compared to a modern one. Okay. So the trick here is we could gather some evidence. So she said she saw blood, drag marks, that sort of stuff. So it's important we now gather that evidence for use in a trial. Because again, this is like real life police game. It's not just, you know, chase the bad guy until we find him. And you can see here the music starts picking up, which is great. Which gives you an idea that something needs to be done. So what can we see straight away? Well, there's a trash can here just to our right. So if we open up the kit, I can't remember if there's gloves in here or not. No, there isn't. So let's search the trash. Moving the garbage around, you find discarded clothing. Looking closer, you see what appears to be spots of blood on the clothes. Let's see. clothes in the bag. Examine the clothes. You remove a pair of grey pants and a blue shirt from the can. You think to yourself, man, these look like jail clothes. Wait a minute, here's a cloth name tag sewn onto the shirt. J. Baines. So we look trash again. Okay, I think search trash is... Yeah, there's nothing more in the trash can. Okay. So now this is a bit of a tricky one. When I first played this game many years ago, I didn't know where to look when the jogger said there was drag marks. But you can see sort of just to my, well, straight in front of Sonny as he's standing. Annoying that the field kit image is there. You can see there's sort of a red colouring on the soil. So if we go look around, near the river's edge you look down and see what appears to be partially coagulated blood and drag marks. You also see footprints in the soft damp ground. As you inspect the evidence, Keith ambles into view. Keith pipes up. Hey, look at that. I bet Baines stuffed that poor jailer and then threw the body into the river. You take care of the evidence and I'll go radio a request for the dive team. Alright. So what we've got to do here is we can take a blood sample. You use the eyedropper to collect a sample of coagulated blood and put it into the glass vial. You return the eyedropper to the kit and add the vial of blood to your inventory of evidence. I think we can take a photo as well. You photograph the crime scene from several different angles, then you return the camera to the field kit. And finally, it mentioned there was some casting plaster in there. So you can take cast of footprint, I believe. You remove the box of casting powder. You mix the powder to the proper consistency and pour it into the footprint depression. After the liquid dries, you remove the impression of the footprint and add it to the list of evidence. I believe that's all we can do. So we've got a blood sample, we've got photos of the drag marks, and we've got a casting of the footprint. I think we just look at the ground. So yeah, it just says blood and drag marks and footprints. Alright, cool. So now we can close the kit. And we can head back towards the car. Now as we do this, I believe the scuba van will turn up. Maybe not yet. So on a faster computer, just like I mentioned before, the scuba van will actually usually turn up as you walk across the screen. We've radioed for the diver, Sonny, and he'll be here shortly, Keith volunteers. So while we wait, we might as well open the trunk. And then we'll put the kit in the trunk. It's not going to need that anymore. Close the trunk. And then the scuba van turns up over here. So let's just, there we go. Officer Moore says, well, here I am, Bonds. What can I do for you now? So if we type go diving, oops, go diving. I don't like diving alone and I'm the only diver available, Moore says. You wouldn't happen to have a scuba certification card, would you? You say, yes, I do. You think to yourself, now where did I put that? I think we go look back of wallet. There's a black wallet. Let's see, look inside wallet. In the back of your wallet, you find your scuba diving certificate. It's kind of weird when you say look back of wallet, look back in wallet. It doesn't find it, but if you just go look in wallet, it does. You show your scuba certification card to the diver. Okay, wait here while I change. This dude's the quickest changer in history. Although on this slower computer, it makes it a little bit more realistic. Wow, this guy's a quick change artist. Okay, Bond says more. The equipment's in the van. Just take what you need. Now, this is where we have to not really be too crazy about it, but we need to be careful. So you've got a few options of things to take. So if you go take tank 3, for instance, remove the air tank from the back of the van, and if you go look gauge, you see that one's at 22,000 or 2200. If you picked another one, it's just random that I got the right one first, the air level will be very low and you won't hear that point sort of do. So you need to then replace the cylinder and then get another tank. On the ground here we can take the goggles. There's a weight belt and there's a vest. And I think that's all we need. Take fins. Yep, we need the fins. And that should be it. So if we go, let's just save it here, just in case I've forgotten something, but I don't believe I have. Unless that's a wetsuit at the back there. So let's go at scuba. I don't believe you had to actually... Oh, there is a wetsuit. So no, we have to take the wetsuit. Okay, now we've got everything. For some reason I thought the wetsuit was automatic. Now notice where we're diving into the river, we're kind of in the middle screen. There's still a screen to the left and a screen to the right. Officer Moore puts on his mask and fins on, climbs in the water and disappears from sight beneath the surface. You quickly put on your fins and follow him into the swiftly moving river. Now there's only one thing you need to do under here which is compulsory, but then there's two other things you can find which help your evidence and help your score. And I'm struggling to remember what one of them is, but we will persevere. There is a time limit underwater here. And that's obviously from your oxygen. Now what you need to do, so I can see one already, so there's kind of like a bit of a gold item here. So if we just go look rocks, you see nothing unusual. In fact, these rocks are downright boring. So let's try to look around. Oh, I'm sure there's something there because you can sort of see there's that yellow along with the junction, all car on the bottom. Search rock. Examine rock. Alright, let's leave that one for now. I'm pretty sure that little glint there is the jailer's ID badge. But I can't be 100% sure. So let's just go a screen to the left and see what else we can find. So you can sort of see there's some various little things and different coloured items on the ground here. You notice a glint of light reflecting off an object. After picking it up, you look at the object which is sharpened to a point. All of a sudden in your head a light comes on. You remember what the prisoner said, how the suspect held a makeshift knife on the jailer during the escape. You slip the knife into your belt and keep it as evidence. See an old rusted out can. That's no good. I think this is just a bottle by the look of it. Yes, nothing we need to worry about. Just looking at that very small item there on the ground. I don't think that's anything. Just a waterlogged piece of paper. Rusted out can. Last of all, let's just check this grey sort of thing over here. Alright, so there's nothing there we need to worry about. So let's go back over here and we'll try again. But I'm sure the jailer's badge is underwater here somewhere. Yeah, I'd forgotten about the shiv. Let's just check out what this weird looking thing is here. There's a ball truck tire nestled deep in the mud next to a 55-gallon oil drum. What about this thing? Nothing but a rusted out old beer can. You can tell it's an oldie by the fact that someone had used a church key on it. No pop tops in those days. Let's try down here. You find an old discarded wallet. Endless volumes of water have rendered it worthless. I don't think you can take the wallet. You don't need it, yeah. Let's try this over here again. It's looking promising. When you see you're not close enough, generally means there's something there. Oh, come on. Is it this thing? Oh, idiot. I need to make sure there we go. Make sure when you're pressing F3 you've got the right command. You see a flicker of gold from the corner of your eye. You're amazed what you think this object could be. Let's take the object. Oh, come on, I must have moved a bit. There we go. You brush the mud off an object that appears to be a badge. You look at the badge and think to yourself, this is like finding a needle in a haystack. If you look at the badge, there you go, 555-8013. Now I believe that's all there is to find down here except the last thing, which is rather unfortunate, and that is the jailer himself. So I don't think any of these objects are actually waterlogged candy wrapper. What's this thing? Discarded rusty old can. I wasn't sure if the jailer's wallet was down here. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So I think now, oops. You notice something apparently hidden behind some rocks. So, sorry there's not a lot of talking in this bit because there's a lot of tricky navigation. Notice there's a sort of a pixel or two of just red just near Sonny's head at this point in time. So if we look behind the rocks, just look rocks. Look object. Move rocks. You move the rocks, exposing a human hand. Startled, you jerk backwards. Regaining your composure, you take a closer look. It appears a body is wedged into the rocks. Okay, so after this, all we can really do is remove the body. So if we just type remove body, your diving partner notices you have found something and he swims over to you. You take one side and your partner the other. Together you pull the body from the river. It's not a pretty sight, eh, Sonny? Officer Moore says, poor guy, he's just a few years older than my kid. So I think Officer Moore will just stay there for the time being. And we're going to have to go get changed and call the coroner. See you, Sonny, Officer Moore shouts after you. I'll stay here with the body. After recovering the body of the jailer, you hurry to change back into street clothes. So as I mentioned just a bit before, finding the shiv and the badge is not essential. All you have to do is find the body. And if you do that, the same thing will happen, you just pull him to the surface. So if you want to get the shiv and the badge, you have to do it first. Otherwise, you don't really get a second chance to go diving again, as far as I'm aware. Can't say I've ever tried it. Now what we need to do is use the radio for the coroner. So open the door. And then I think we just use radio, and then I can't remember if we hang around and wait for the coroner. Let's just see. So we'll use the radio. Keith grabs the mic, requesting the coroner at our 10:20. Great. Okay. I don't think we use the radio for anything else. Nope. Now, I don't think we need to wait for the coroner, but nonetheless, let's just go back and have a quick look at the body. Oh, it's annoying. You can never move when Keith's walking for some reason. Well, most of the time anyway. So as I recall, the coroner pulls up with a station wagon, but I might be confusing this with an earlier police quest or even a bit later on in this game where we call the coroner again. It's been a while since I've actually played this through. Did you forget something? Not really. Only thing I think we can do now is, let's just try and examine the body. You view the victim's body and see what appears to be a bullet hole in the head and superficial cuts and scratches on the throat. Okay, so we can't search it. We can't really do anything more than that. Don't believe we need to take a photo with our field kit or anything like that, so that should be fine. So maybe we don't need to wait for the coroner here. Okay. Well, let's continue on with the game. So everything's kind of adding up at this point. We've noticed he's got superficial cuts around his neck, which is from the shiv that Baines used to basically get out of jail. And then it looks like he was shot, most likely by his own gun. Alright, let's get back to the station. So, open the door. So with Police Quest 2, you might sort of be thinking, oh, this is kind of a bit, procedural and, you have to go back and forwards. But it's a lot less procedural than Police Quest 1 was. You can get away with quite a bit more. So we drive to station now. It's much easier from the fact that you can just literally type drive to station. All of this sort of does it for you. There's no crashing on the roads. There's also no endless just patrolling around waiting for something to happen. With Police Quest 2, I don't know if they took feedback from people or what it was. But anyway, we've got something going here. As you drive towards the office, dispatch brings the radio alive with information from a unit in pursuit. Attention all units, be advised, 5310 is in pursuit of fugitive suspect Baines. The current 1020 is northbound on 2nd Street in the vicinity of the airport. 5310 is requesting assistance and advises that he's losing suspect in heavy traffic. Any unit responding acknowledge. Just then, Keith jumps on the middle of things. Dispatch 53 Mary 2. Be advised we're responding to the 5310's 1020 code 2. Wow, there's a lot of codes and stuff. Dispatch confirms your traffic as you respond towards the pursuit. Copy 53 Mary 2. As you continue to respond, 5310 comes on the air again. I lost the suspect in heavy traffic. Dispatch answers confirmed last known 1020 of the suspect vehicle. You listen attentively as the 5310 unit answers suspect vehicle last seen in the vicinity of the airport. I can't believe it, Keith shouts. How could he have lost him? So now we could drive to airport. Because we've got nothing else to go by, we might as well head in the direction that they last saw the car. Now at this point, the pursuit's over. They don't know where the car's gone, but you sort of think, well, he might be trying to escape Lytton, driving to the airport. Makes perfect sense. So let's see if we can find out anything at the airport. And the airport seems to be a long way away. So yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, Police Quest 2 is a lot less procedural than Police Quest 1, so if you played Police Quest 1 and thought, oh, this is horrible, I hate it, have a go at Police Quest 2. It is much easier, as you can see. This bit I always thought was kind of funny. So as we pull up, notice there's like a black car sort of at the bottom of the screen. Keith says, let's check out the parking lot, Sonny. I'll look over here. So of course he goes off in the wrong direction. Oh, out of heap space. Oh man. Well, I guess we ran out of memory. You can rejoin me once I restart the game and continue. Okay, and we're back. So unfortunately for me, I only saved the game before the scuba diving, so I've just gone through and done everything again. But here we are at the Lytton City Airport. Now, as I kind of mentioned earlier, there's a black car down here that looks very similar to the one that almost ran us over down at Cotton Cove. So let's just quickly look at this car. Black car appears to match the description of the stolen car. All right. So let's open the trunk. What's that? Oh, that was it. There we go. Take our kit. Close trunk. And I think what we can do here to begin with is just go look, license plate. Black car's rear plate is missing. Let's see if it's got a front plate. As you look at the black car's license plate number, CO35609, you think to yourself, man, this one rings a bell. Hey, Keith shouts, that's the car. Baines has to be around here somewhere. Now, let's go dust door for prints. Dust handle for prints. Okay, so none there, so we can open the door. Now let's go dust mirror for print. You carefully dust the rear view mirror and come up with one good print. Lift the print. Gently and carefully use the fingerprint tape to lift the clear print impression from the rear view mirror. Alright, so we can dust the wheel for prints. And, you know, dust handle for prints. I think you only get one per car, that sounds right. So let's go look under seat. Seats are made of soft dark blue cloth, they are empty. Let's just go look seat, look floor. You see some cookie crumbs and occasional dead leaf. There is nothing significant. Open glove box. Glove box appears to be empty. I thought there was something around... Okay, you reach into, under, and around the front and back seats, but you come up empty-handed. Let's try search the console. Try search car. I thought there was something in this car, but maybe I'm misremembering. I definitely know you've got to lift the print and then basically... Oh, we can look at the VIN number maybe? You read the VIN number, S1234T10. Okay, interesting. Can we use the VIN number? Record VIN number. Oh, well, at least we got the fingerprint. I think that's all we can really do here. We need to radio for a tow truck. So what we need to do now, enthusiastically Keith says, yep, Sonny, we'll get that Baines now. All right, so let's just get Sonny walking properly here. There we go. Open the trunk. The only really annoying part about Police Quest 2 that I find is, well, there's two things. Having to put the kit in the trunk all the time is annoying. But having to get in the car to use the radio, I don't know why we didn't have extenders. I guess as a detective, you probably don't carry a radio extender. Not normally anyway. But still, having to go to the car every single time to use the radio is super annoying. But maybe that's the way it was back in, 1987. Meanwhile, Keith is stuck here trying to find his way to the car. Has he got it this time? Maybe he does. Ooh, he's got the moonwalk happening. And he's still going the wrong way. Oh, I love Police Quest 2 bugs. I think he finally gets there. The moonwalk was pretty epic though. There we go. Alright. So all we got to do here is use radio. If you drive off at this point, you make a horrible mistake. So, request a check to be made on license number CO35609. Be advised your plate number matches that of the vehicle stolen from the mall. Continuing, VIN number S1234T10 should match. Attention all units, looking for suspect vehicle, has it located? Nice. So we have to use the radio again, I think. Radio for tow truck. Keith looks confused. We don't have anything to report, Sonny. Radio for truck. Get tow truck. Swore we had to radio for a tow truck. Oh, well, maybe not. I'm missing some score at the end. Feel free to put it in the comments if I stuff that up and I needed to use some different syntax. But I was pretty sure we needed to get a tow truck there. Why don't you go check out the terminal building? I'll wait for the tow truck. Okay, it's implicit. So this one always used to get me when I was younger. If you walk straight across this crossing, you just get mowed down. So let's just do a save game here. And I'll quickly show you what I mean. So airport, we'll call this crossing. Whoops. At airport crossing. So you can sort of see there's a little like walk, don't walk thing over by the blue car, which is very nondescript. My. Did you see that? You forgot to look both ways and wait for the light. Didn't your mother tell you about that? Alright, so pretty obvious once you've done it once what you need to do. So if we press the button, let's look both ways. Don't get any score for that, but whatever. Oh, so now there's a person selling flowers. Hey big fella, why don't you buy some flowers for your girlfriend? Why not? Thank you, sir. It's a beautiful rose. That'll be $2. You pay the young lady and send her on her way. Actually, I think we do need to do it, but if you don't, well, maybe you'll get away with it. Nonetheless, pretty obvious cue there. You need to buy some flowers. Alright, so the first thing, well, there's a few things we need to do, and I don't think there is a particular order, but let's just check out the men's room. Make sure he's not hiding in here. So you need to inspect all of the stalls, and you'll find all of them are empty. However, there's a little trick. So once you're in the stall, you can go look toilet, and it will show you the toilet. Now, very obviously, it shows you the cistern. Gives you a bit of a clue. So you can open the cistern. Open the lid, I think you need to do. It's all coming back to me. There we go. Look inside toilet, I guess. Doesn't like the word cistern. You see what looks like a police revolver hidden in the bottom of the toilet tank. So we can take the gun. So when you check the other toilets, there's just nothing there. In the interest of time, I just went straight to the one we need. The revolver is pretty wet, and so is your hand. Now that's a clue. Now I never picked up on this till much later, but you can see there's a hand dryer at the back here. What you can do now is you can dry the gun. Okay, turn on dryer. Press button. Dry gun. You use the warm air from the electric hand dryer to dry off the gun. I think you can dry your sleeve too. Dry arm. No, you don't really need to do that. The trick to this is that it helps to preserve evidence on the gun if you dry it. Again, I didn't pick this up until many years after I played this the first time. Now the next thing you need to do is ask around to see if anyone's seen Baines. May I help you, sir? Show ID is always wise. Show the mugshot. I'm sorry, officer, but the face doesn't ring a bell at all. I wish I could be more assistance. I think you can ask for manifests. Ask for passenger list. There we go. The ticket agent hands you a list of flights and passengers and says, "Here you are, officer." You carefully look over the list, but nothing rings a bell. Now I think if you go to the girl, you can then show her mugshot. Show her the mugshot. Why, yes, says the agent. I remember this guy. He bought a ticket from us recently. He seemed nervous or something. So let's ask again. Carefully scanning the passenger list. Now you get a different one from the girl, which makes no sense to me. But a name catches your eye, Lewis Pate. You blurt out to the agent, "Lewis Pate, that's the jailer's name. Baines is using the jailer's ID. The destination listed is Houston. The ticket agent advised you the Houston flight departed approximately 20 minutes ago. Here comes Keith. You tell Keith you found the kidnapped jailer's revolver in the restroom toilet. Keith congratulates you on your find and suggests you take it back to the station and book it as evidence. Keith says, "Well, old buddy, I couldn't find anything else out there. They've towed the stolen car away. Anything happening in here?" You tell Keith you found Lewis Pate's name on a list of passengers for a Houston flight. It has to be Baines that bought that ticket, you tell Keith. He must have used Pate's identification. Okay, so that's one thing we've learned. However, it always is wise to get as much information as you can, see if anyone else has seen him. So same deal here, show ID. Classic running a stop sign. We can then show the mugshot to this person. Fortunately, he's never seen him before. Same deal here, show ID. If you don't show your ID, it's kind of funny. I think it says something like, "Why are you showing me this?" Same deal, what a mean looking fellow. Fortunately, I've never seen him before. Now, another little, I don't know, it's a trap or if you want to call it that. There's more to the airport over here to the left, which is pretty obvious, but it can be missed on the first time you sort of come and look around if you've never played Police Quest 2 before. There's another car rental agency here. So we'll do another show ID. Then we show the mugshot. Nope, never seen the man before. Try with the girl. Show ID. Show the mugshot. The agent looks at the mugshot and says, "Matter of fact, I do remember renting a car to this guy." Let's see if we can get the list. "Here you are, sir. Be my guest." Flashing a smile, the agent gives you a list of her car rentals. Looking at the rental agreements, you come across a familiar name, Lewis Pate. You think to yourself, that punk has rented a car using the jailer's ID. I'd better jot down the information. You write down the vehicle information, 1988 green CMG sedan, license C43, blah blah blah. A not so funny play on GMC. Okay, last thing we can do. You notice that, before we do this last thing, we've got conflicting information. First thing says Baines has boarded a flight to Houston. And the second thing is he's rented a car locally. Now, I'm inclined to believe, as is Sonny Bonds in a second, that at the end of the day, Baines has actually stayed in Lytton and that plane ticket is just a red herring. Now, I think if you show ID to this person, okay, and then if we show the mugshot, nobody recognises Baines' picture. So another little bit of a clue that he hasn't come through the boarding gate, assuming that's the only gate that's present in this airport. Well, certainly the only one we can get to. Just for fun, you can see up there a Leisure Suit Larry's seated on the chair too. Alright, we've done all we can really do here. So now, let's go back to the car, and we've got a lot to radio in. We've got to radio in about potentially Baines going to Houston, Baines renting the car and the car details, and I think that's about it. The only thing that always puzzled me at this point is that, don't forget to press the button, the Baines dumping the gun seemed a little strange. He doesn't have another firearm as far as we're aware. You sort of think he's going to need one, you know, to carry out his vengeance. So, I don't know why he dumped the gun there. It's kind of weird, but nonetheless, he does get another one. Alright, so looking at the time, I think we've been going for about 50 minutes. We had that little bit of a hiatus while the computer ran out of RAM. But let's just finish off here. We're using the radio. Alright, so we're requested a check to be made on handgun serial number SW5557763. Be advised, your number comes back to a 4-inch K38 Smith & Wesson registered to Lewis Pate. Keith says to you, "Well, Sonny, I guess we should get back and book the evidence." Oh no, there's more to radio in. After requesting an APB on Baines' rental car, Keith says, "We'll get him now, Sonny." I think that's it. Yep, that's the lot. Okay, so let's leave it there by saving the game. At this point, basically we're up to now, we've got some more evidence, we've tracked Baines to the point where he got to the airport. And now we're kind of at a little bit of a dead end, although basically, let's see, after airport probably sounds good. We've got a lot to go on though. We've retrieved the gun. There might be some evidence on that. We know he's rented a car and we've got the details on it. And we know he's potentially goes to Houston. So we've got a few leads we can follow up. But at this point, we're just going to basically head back to the police station. All right, so thanks for watching up to this point. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or suggestions or for improvements, things I missed in the game, things you remember even about Police Quest 2, please fire away, put them down there in the comments, and I'll be glad to read them. Thanks again so much for watching. If you've liked the video, consider also giving it a thumbs up. It does help the channel to grow and helps to promote it along. And I do really, really appreciate it. Catch you in the next one for Police Quest 2 Part 3 coming soon. See you later.